Hello everyone. Now as you know, Michael Jordan fans are the worst sports fans of all time. And one of the many reasons why is because these people are always saying that Michael Jordan saved the NBA. Now I'm going to explain to you why this is ridiculous. Here are the reasons why in no particular order. When they say things like Michael Jordan saved the NBA, they are disrespecting other people. They are dismissing other people. When they claim to respect the game and then they disrespect other people, they are contradicting themselves. When they claim to love the game and then they dismiss other people, they are contradicting themselves. Next, they have a history of always trying to make Michael Jordan the #1 NBA player of all time. So that right there shows you that they're not reliable. Next, understand why they have this take. They are so into Michael Jordan and they are trying to find any way to elevate him. So that right there shows you that they are not reliable. Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that usually the only people who say that Michael Jordan saved the NBA are Michael Jordan fans? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the owners that Michael Jordan played for and lots of the general managers that Michael Jordan played for and lots of the coaches that Michael Jordan played for don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played with don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of the players that Michael Jordan played against don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that lots of NBA Hall of Famers, lots of NBA legends, lots of NBA scouts, and lots of NBA experts don't agree with them? Next, how do Michael Jordan fans explain that Michael Jordan doesn't agree with them? Next, since lots of these people don't agree with them, why do Michael Jordan fans sometimes reference some of them for one or more topics? Next, if this was the other way around and a Michael Jordan fan was an NBA Hall of Famer or some other NBA person and they found out that there was a younger NBA fan who wasn't there when they played, who didn't have that much tape of them, who wasn't an expert on the past NBA and so on, and they found out that this younger NBA fan was doing this, they wouldn't agree with that fan. Next, if some non-Michael Jordan fan was doing this and it went against Michael Jordan, they wouldn't agree with that non-Michael Jordan fan. Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't do this kind of thing for other NBA Hall of Famers? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't do this kind of thing for other Hall of Famers when it comes to other sports? Next, how come Michael Jordan fans don't do this kind of thing when it comes to other things outside of sports? Next, Michael Jordan fans have a contradiction. They are not ranking the players in the order of who saved the NBA. That is a contradiction. Next, and they're not doing that for other sports. Next, and they're not doing that for other things outside of sports. Next, use some common sense. Do you really think that one guy can save the NBA? Next, use some common sense. Do you really think that if one guy could save the NBA, it would be Michael Jordan? Next, use some common sense. If there was no one else in the NBA and there was only Michael Jordan, do you think that he would save the NBA? Next, use some common sense. There was hardly anyone in the NBA who was not an NBA fan and then just became an NBA fan just because of Michael Jordan. Next, now some Michael Jordan fans will say, well, no, I became a fan because of Michael Jordan, or I know there have been people who became a fan because of Michael Jordan, but that happens to lots of people. Lots of people start liking the NBA because of a guy or more than one guy or a team or more than one team. Next, use some common sense. There is hardly anyone out there who stopped being a fan of the NBA before Michael Jordan was there and then became a fan of the NBA after Michael Jordan was there. Next, lots of people who became a fan of the NBA because of Michael Jordan don't really follow the NBA, or they are just casual fans. Lots of them follow Michael Jordan. Some of them follow Michael Jordan and the team that he is on. Let me give you an example. If a kid is in Los Angeles and he becomes a fan of Russell Westbrook and he becomes a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, it doesn't make sense to act like Russell Westbrook saved the NBA. Sure, Michael Jordan was more popular than Russell Westbrook, but he is not saving the entire NBA. Next, Michael Jordan was not the most famous NBA player every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan was not the most well-liked NBA player every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan was not the best NBA player every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan was not on an NBA team that won every year. Next, Michael Jordan was not the most popular NBA player every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan did not get the most NBA All-Star votes every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan did not win the NBA's regular season MVP award every year that he was in the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan was not the NBA's MVP every year in the NBA's All-Star Game. Next, when they act like Michael Jordan saved the NBA, how exactly did he save it? They never explain how. They just act like he saved it. Now they might say that he was such a good player and all that, but how does that mean he saved the NBA? Next, now they might say that because Michael Jordan was so good, that is how he saved it. But what is it about him that saved the NBA? He scored a lot. Okay, lots of people did that. He dunked a lot. Okay, lots of people did that. He was very athletic. Okay, so were lots of other people. And there are more examples, but you get the point. Next, now some Michael Jordan fans will say, well, hey, you can find lots of people who did lots of things, but none of them did as many things as Michael Jordan. That is ridiculous. There were lots of people who did as many things as Michael Jordan, and there were lots of people who did more things than Michael Jordan. Next, when it comes to NBA players who actually saved the NBA, a lot of Michael Jordan fans don't know that those players saved the NBA. So because they don't know, they don't end up giving them the same credit like they give Michael Jordan, especially when they come to these ridiculous type of conclusions about how Michael Jordan saved the NBA. Next, Michael Jordan fans have a contradiction. Sometimes Michael Jordan fans know that one or more NBA Hall of Famers actually changed the NBA, but they don't give them credit. That is a contradiction. Next, they're ignoring what the NBA did. Next, they're ignoring what David Stern did. Next, they're ignoring what one or more companies did. Next, some of them know about what one or more of these things did, and yet they still ignore what one or more of these things did. Next, since Michael Jordan left the first time, the NBA did fine. Next, when Michael Jordan left the second time, the NBA did fine. Next, when Michael Jordan left the third time, the NBA did fine. Next, Michael Jordan has not been in the NBA as a player for so many years, and the league has done fine for so many of these years. Next, the NBA is more popular in the world today than when Michael Jordan was in the NBA. Next, now some Michael Jordan fans might say, well, the NBA is more popular today than when Michael Jordan was in the NBA because of Michael Jordan. No, there is no proof of that. And lots of young NBA fans today do not know that much about Michael Jordan, or they are not as into him as some of the older NBA fans. Next, in some ways, Michael Jordan made things worse. Next, you could make the point that Michael Jordan did more things to make things worse than he did to make things better. Next, there is no reason to think that the NBA would not do better even if Michael Jordan was not there. Next, there is no fact to prove that Michael Jordan saved the NBA. Hey, please subscribe, and if you disagree with me on something, you can go on my program and show me your facts on whatever you disagree on. If you want to go on, let's set it up. Send me an email. The email is right there in the description section. Thank you.